Another hole in the list, so we got number 26 is empty. So coming up next is number 27.
And it's a good segue because the lady was from Washington, D.C., George Washington. The next contestant is from Georgetown, Texas.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bill Crider.
It looks like he's been washing tons of laundry, too.
Folks are so disagreeable these days. I thought we needed more agriculture. I bought a farm. It used to belong to this weird religious group, so it was already cultivated. They were some of those green supremacists, you know, vegetarians. My wife helps me on the farm. She's a pharmacist. She studied pharmacology, but I had to learn it by trial and error. This is a gruesome story. I told my wife I was shopping for plants. She said, botany? I told her I planted all my seeds by hand. She said, so? My wife gave me a honeydew list. I'm still mulling it over. She doesn't like hybrids, so I crossed corn and potatoes just to irritate her. I also planted a hybrid that grows toothbrushes. It's called bristle sprouts. Then I planted the four-leaf clovers right next to the poison ivy, but I had a rash of good luck. I told my wife we needed more water for the garden. She said, well, I didn't connect my irrigation properly, and now my garden has leaks. What are you going to do? I asked my wife if I should grow some southern favorites. She said, okay. My corn wasn't bad. It was just earful. My wife harvested excellent corn, though. They were the best ears of my wife. My dog planted a garden, but all that would grow there was cauliflowers. I tried to keep the deer out of the garden, but they took offense. I also grew some herbs, but I was only partially successful. The mint took over the garden because you can't govern mint. One day I came out and there were spiders in the garden. They said, let us alone, we're newlyweds. I spent a lot on fertilizer, but the pollination was a freebie. My wife put beer out on saucers in our garden. I said, give me a slug of that. A bird flew into my compost shredder, so I had shredded tweet. And then instead of a garden...
Thank you, Bill Crider.
That was a fantastic crop of fun.
I hate to see that happen, but he knew enough to shut his mouth when he heard that bell because he didn't want to get DQ'd, even though he knew.